Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's December 15th, 2022. We are in the New Testament, and we are in the book of Revelation, and we're going to read chapter 5 today. Okay, so John, who's exiled on the island of Patmos, and this is kind of his finishing work that he wants to give us, this vision that Jesus gave him of basically the end of creation, how it's all going to end. Still has a message for the first century people that he's writing it to, has a message for all of us who are just in the end times and maybe not at the end, and a message for the people that are at the end. We're kind of getting really deep into the apocryphal part. That's the part where we see the visions and everything's a symbol of everything else. And one thing to keep in mind is we're not seeing an accurate picture. I mean, that's not what's going to happen. In this section, he talks about a lamb with 7 horns and 7 eyes. There is no lamb with 7 horns and 7 eyes. It's representative of Jesus. 7, representative of completeness. Like, think about a week. It's a complete cycle, and then again, 7 is completeness. Got horns, like a heraldic trumpet. He's the king of everything. He's got 7 eyes. Eyes are how you gather wisdom. So he is all the wisdom of the world and all of creation is in him. So again, it's a symbol. Don't get too deep in the symbols. Just kind of understand, hey, I'm seeing the lamb. That's Jesus. He is everything wrapped up. He is the hero of the story. He's the hero of the story because of the sacrifice that he made on the cross. Like I said, read through it, just kind of brushing the surface and just kind of understanding what you can understand, and you'll get quite a lot of what's in Revelation. You start trying to really analyze, well, why 7, and what does each one of those horns represent? It might represent something. Again, like I said, I've got whole books of things that'll tell you what each one of those horns represents. I'm getting so far into the minuscule details of things that I'm not seeing that whole big picture. So that's what you want to see when you read Revelations, is that whole big picture. Once I get that in my head, well, then I can go deeper on things if I really want to. In this section, we see a scroll. What's the significance of the scroll? Well, I don't know. I'm a fan of magic tricks. I like magicians. You see a magician will come out with an envelope and hand it to somebody and say, oh, there you go, keep that. And then he does this series of improbable things, and they says, oh, give me that envelope. And he opens the envelope and he lays out this paper and says, there, see, there's everything, all these improbable things. I said I was going to do them before I happened. And you go, oh, what an amazing trick. Well, that's kind of what this scroll is, only it's not really a trick. It's God writing. God wrote the end of the book, and then he sealed it in this scroll with 7 seals and said, okay, there's only one person who's ever going to be able to open it, and when he opens it, it's all over. And then he started at the beginning and wrote the story of creation all the way to the point that we are in this 5, and now it's time to open the scroll. Who's going to open the scroll? Well, I think about King Arthur and the sword and the stone. There's only one person that can do it. Everyone's tried, it's failed, and they're all looking at that stone wondering who's going to do it. Who's going to be the one that pulls it out? And they see that kid go up there and they're, ooh, what's going to happen? And pulls it out. That's kind of this picture we're seeing in 5. All of creation knows that they can't open the scroll. There's only one person that can open the scroll, and it's Jesus. And when he's ready to open the scroll, he's going to go open that scroll. And we don't know when, and they're anticipating it, and there he goes. He's opened it, and now we finish the rest of the story. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Revelation chapter 5. I saw a scroll in the right hand of the one who sits on the throne. It was covered with writing on both sides and was sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a mighty angel who announced in a loud voice, who is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll? But there was no one in heaven or on earth or in the world below who could open the scroll and look inside it. I cried bitterly because no one could be found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside it. Then one of the elders said to me, don't cry. Look, the Lion from Judah's tribe, the great descendant of David, has won the victory, and he can break the 7 seals and open the scroll. Then I saw a lamb standing in the center of the throne, surrounded by the 4 living creatures and the elders. The lamb appeared to have been killed. It had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God that have been sent through the whole earth. The Lamb went and took the scroll from the right hand of the one who sits on the throne. As he did so, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each had a harp and gold bowls filled with incense, which are the prayers of God's people. They sang a new song. You are worthy to take the scroll and to break open its seals, for you were killed, and by your sacrificial death you bought for God people from every tribe, language, nation, and race. You have made them a kingdom of priests to serve our God, and they shall rule on earth. Again I looked, and I heard angels, thousands and millions of them. They stood around the throne, the 4 living creatures and the elders, and sang in a loud voice, the Lamb who was killed is worthy to receive power, wealth, wisdom, and strength, honor, glory, and praise. And I heard every creature in heaven, on earth, in the world below, and in the sea, all living beings in the universe, and they were singing, to him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor, glory and might, forever and ever. The 4 living creatures answered, Amen. And the elders fell down and worshipped. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.